Hello guys, welcome to Good Macro Projects. When I click view image, I see the Pokemon image. Like I can say back. Okay, that is that. We're going to use the the Pokemon API. We're going to develop this using React Hooks and Redux. If you want to type along with me, kindly install the following: 1. npm install Redux. 2. npm install React Redux. 3. npm install Redux DevTools extension. 4. npm install Axios. And 5. npm install React Router DOM. That is that, guys. With all said and done, let's begin. Thank you very much. Let's begin by creating 3 folders in our SRC folder. So we create the first one and call it assets. Then we create the second folder, call it components. Then create the third one and call it Redux. Yeah, that is that. Now with the first one, assets. Now with assets, we need another folder and call it images. So let's get our image for this application. I have our try image here. I put it there nicely. Good. So that is that for the image. We can close it. Now let's go to the component. With the component, what do we do? Let's create a folder and call it pages. So now in the pages folder, let's create three files. Okay, first one, let's call it home.js. Good. Now let's create another file and call it pokeapp.js. Okay, that is that. Let's create the last one and call it poke details.js. That is that. Okay, now let's take the first one, home.js. Now with our boilerplate, REFCE. Good. Now instead of ordinary date, why don't we make it React fragment? So React fragment. No. Okay. So inside that we can say h1 tag. This is home page. Good. So that is that. I can just copy this along as we move. Good. So this home page is ready. Now let's go to the poke page. Also let's RAFCE. Good. Now instead of ordinary div, why don't we make it React fragment? So we say this is the poke page. Good. Likewise, we go to the poke.details. Do likewise, say RAFCE. So inside that, instead of ordinary div, we'll make it good. This is the details page. Okay. Details page. Good. Something's missing. I got it. Sorry guys. Good. So that is that. Our poke page is also ready. Now let's go to the the app.js and link them to the app.js. So we say over here we need to link them. So to begin linking, let's import what browser router, the browser router as router from where? From React router DOM. Good. That's that. Browser router, then what? Route. Oh sorry, it's caps. Route then switch. Good. So that is that. Good. So what we need to do is to call them. So let's call the first one router. Good. Call it. Now inside that we call switch. Good. Then inside that we can call our route. Good. Yeah, that is that. So inside that we can have our component. Inside the component we have our home. Good. That is that. And we say path what? To path equals what? Slash. Okay. So that is that for the home. On the home we had exact to it. Okay. Yeah. The rest no exact. Okay, so the next one is let's do the same for rescue. To the next one and take this off. Then we have what? We have what name? Book. Then over here we say book. So we say book app book app. So next one we say details. So we say details. Inside that we can say book details. Yeah, that's it. Book details. Book DETAILS. Good. So that is that. Let's import them. Book has been imported. Let's import this next one. Import what again? Book app has been this home rather. Import home from pages. And next one we also import book details. So we say import book details. Good. So that is that. Now let's go to the home page and link the book app to the home page. Okay. So we just create a div. Inside the div, and we call the book app. Again. That is that. Our book app has been imported. So that is that. So we can work with our book app. Now let's check our screen to see if there is any complaint. Now there is a complaint. Can resolve components pages. Source folder. App.js. Let's go to the app.js again. What is missing? Oh, sorry, home. It's never imported. Home again. And book app has never imported. Alright, let's do it. Good. So now let's check it. A home page here. This is the home page. It's where. So what do we do next? Now we need to set things up. Now let's look at the structure for the application. We go to the let's check the structure. Let's create a card. Okay. We create a card, and as usual the card header. Okay. Then inside the card we make a small card, then we divide it into two, or we can have the Pokemon name and view image beneath it. So that's very simple. So let's see how to do that. Good. So to begin, let's take this off. Create a div. And inside the div, let's give it a class name, and call it card. So inside the card we need another div, and we call it another div. Good, where are you? Div. Inside the div, let's give it a class name equals card header. Good. Card header. Now let's copy that and do likewise for the card body. So we can have card body here. So that is that. So let's see. Now let's take the first one, the card header. So we give it an h5 tag. Then we say call it the book dex app. That's that. Good. What we need to do is to go to our CSS to start it up. So let's begin by go to CSS. Then create as the star. Good. And we say, let's say box size. Box size, and good. We say body box. Yeah, that is that. Then we come to our body. So we say body. What we do, we need everything in the center. So we can say display display grid. Then inside that, give us place items center. Then give it a height 100 VH. Good. Then what again? Let's give it background color of hash D1. Good. And that's okay. And let's create a card. We say card. The card, let's give it a width DTH. Good. Width of 900 pixels. Then let's give it height. Let's make it auto. Then what again? Let's give it a background color. Let's go E0 DFE9. Okay, that is that. So what are we looking at now? Good, our card is ready. Let's check it out. Good. Now what we need to do is take the header. So we take the card header. Good. Now inside that, what do? Let's give it a background color of 350241. That is that. Now let's take the H5. So we say card header H5. What do we need? Let's give the color. Let's give it white smoke. Then let's give it font size 30 pixels. Then what again? Let's give font weight bold. So I think that is that. Let's check it out. Good. Now let's center it. So let's create a default center. So I say let's call it centered. Okay. Inside that we're gonna say display display what flex, then justify content center, then what align item center. Okay, that is that. So we give this centered to it. So over here we can call the center class. Okay, let's check it out. Good, it's centered. So that is that. So what do we need to do next? Now we need to go to the body. Good. Now let's go to the body. We say body section. Now over the body, what do we need? We need a poke container. So we say let's create a div and call it div. Come on. Like that. Inside the div, let's call class name. Class name equals what? Poke. Poke container. Good. Now inside the poke container, what do we need? We need another div get another div get another div. Then inside that div, let's give it the class name and call it poke item. Good. Poke item. Good. So inside the poke item, we need two things. We need the Pokemon. So let's get a div and call it what's the name? Div get and call it what? Class name equals what? Poke name container. Good. Then a second one will be what? Poke view image container. So that is that. So let's make this one view image container. View image container. So that we have two containers here. Now let's do the first one. The first one, name container. Let's give it a p tag. And just call it, let's give it any name for now. So let's say good do micro projects here. So that is that. Then now let's go to the view image too. Good. With the view image too, let's give it a p tag. Then we call it what? I say view what image. Yeah, that is that. Now let's check our screen to see how things are going. Good guys. So what we need to do now is to call the create the how do you call it, the poke item. The poke item, let's give it the width. Okay, so we copy the poke item. We go to CSS, paste it. Good. Now let's give it the width. Let's give it 200 pixels. 200 pixels. Good. Then let's give the height 100 pixels. Then let's see. Let's add some background color so we can see what you're working with. Let's say red. Good. Okay, that is that. Good. Now what we need to do is to make this thing what do you call it? Let's display flex. Okay. So we can say display flex, then flex direction column. Good. So let's check that. Good. Now let's center it. Okay. What we need to do. Okay, so I think that is that. It's okay. So now what we need to do is to take each container and work on it. So let's go back and take each container. So let's take the name container. Good. The name container, what do we need? The name container is ready. Let's give it height. Height what? 50 pixels. Then give it a background color of RGB into bracket 24206 24. Okay. So let's see. Let's check that. Good. Next we work on the text. So we say book name container P. Good. What do we do? Let's give font weight. Bold. Then what again? Let's give it text color. So we say okay, color. Let's give it RGB what 51 to 21. Good. Let's check that out. Good, that is that. Let's center it. So we add a centers class to the name container. Go there and I say centered. Good, there's that. Make this one too centered. Good. So let's check that out. You can see. So likewise, we do the same for the image too. Good. So that is that. I can just say, so I copy the view image container. So we go paste it, and I will say height 50 pixels, and what again, and give it a background color of RGB into bracket 11 14 194. Good. What next? I think that is that. Let's do the P. So we say view. So view container. Good. Add a P to it. Let's give it color. Let's give it what? RGB into bracket. Now let's give it a background color of RGB to bracket 230 149 56. That is that. Now let's take the P2. So we'll say view container, image container again, and P. And inside that we need a color. We say RGB into bracket 11 14 194. Good, that's good. Now let's do what again? Let's do font weight. Support. Good. Let's check that. Good, guys. Okay. I think the font weight bold is not that. Let's make it bolder. Okay. Let's make it here. Let's make it. Let's give it a value. let me see, 900, and let's give the other one to 900. Let's check that out. Better. Good. So that is that, guys. Good. Now what we need to do is to give this view image a link. Yes. So to do that, I gave the view image a link. So we say link. Good. I close the link. Okay. Yeah, so that is that. Now the link to where? To let me say to details. Yeah, that is that. So let's check that out. Our link is not defined. Let's import link. So we say import link from what React router DOM. Okay, so that is that. Let's check the link. So that is that. So let's check that out. Good. So when I say view image, it takes me to the details page. So now let's work on our details page. Good. Oh, so with our details page, what do we do? So let's get a div. Let's create a div. Inside that div, let's give it a class name and call it detail. Detail container. Good. Now inside a container, we need the detail content. So we create another div. Give the class name detail content. Yeah. And inside that, good. Inside the content, what do we need? We need an h5 tag. H5 tag, and inside the tag, it gives us the Pokemon name. Okay. So we say Pokemon name. Good. Then we need a Pokemon image. Good. We say img tag. Let's close it. And inside the tag we have an src. Good. src, let's give it try image, and try image, let's give it an alt equals. Yeah, that's that. Now let's give it a width and height. So we say width, let's give it 200. Let's give this to 200. So that is that. Now let's give it what again, the back. So we say, let's say another h5 tag. Then we say back. Good. So the back, I can add a class name to it. Let's go I class. Say I font awesome. Okay. Good. I class. Okay. Good. So that is that. Let's give the class name. Class name. Now let's give the name is what? Name is arrow left. Good. Let's check that out. Okay. Try image. Didn't import try image. Let's import try image. Good. So we say import try image from where? Pages node. Yeah, assets. Good. That. Go to images. Then the name is what? Try Pokémon. Try book. Okay. .jpg. So that is that. Let's check it out. Good. So that is that. Now let's do some, how do you call it, some CSS. So we do that. We go to take the first one, the book detail container. Okay, detail container. Good. So right here we say book detail CSS section. So say yeah, let's give the width. Provide DTH width 200 pixels. Then height. Height. Let's give it auto for now. Let's see what happened. Good. So what next? Let's give the background color. Background color. So you know what you're working with. Let's give green. So that is that. Let's check that out. Good. So what we do? We need to display everything flex. Okay. Let's go to the page again. Okay. So detail content. We call detail content. And we say good CSS. Then let's say good. We say display flex. Good. Then flex direction column. Good. Let's check that out again. Good. Better. Okay. What do you do next? Okay. Let's take them one after the other. Let's take the first one. What's the name? The Pokemon name. Okay. So we say. So detail content. That's my name. So detail content. The content P. Is that P? Let's check it out. H5. Good. H5. Good. H5. Good. Let's say font weight. Font weight. What? 900. And let's get font size. Let's give it 20 pixels. Then what again? Let's check it out. Good. Let's make it font size 30 pixels. Good. Oh no, no, no. I think 20, 25 we could do. Sorry. 25 pixels. Good, 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 good. Then good, now let's come to the back here. This arrow should be linked to back. Yeah, go back to the home page, okay? Need to create another link. Okay, D. Create another link. How do we do this? Link here. Link tag. Good. Okay. Link. Good. That is that. Oh, sorry. Good. Our link is ready. Link to where? To home page. So we'll say to. Let's say to. Let's go to the home page. So that is that. Let's import link. Let's say import. No. Link from where React router done. Good. What next? Oh, what is happening? Can't resolve okay, so we don't have the spelling somewhere. No, it's nothing like good. Good, now what we need to do is to work on the what's your name? This back page. So back. To bring the H5 here. Okay. And bring it here. Good. Let's see. Water contain. H5 comes here. Good. Perfect. H5 before the I tag. So let's check that out. Good. So that is that. So when I click the back page, it takes me back. So guys, that is that, guys. Our CSS is ready. Now we need to check the API and dispatch it using Redux. So let's get ready for Redux. So that is that, guys. Let's begin Redux. Now let's go to begin Redux. Let's close all this. Good. So we go to Redux. Let's take this thing up. Good. Now Redux folder, let's create a file. Then we say give it the name store.js. Now let's create the same Redux folder. Let's create another file and call it root reducer.js. Now inside the same Redux folder, let's create another folder and call it book Redux. Now inside the book Redux, let's create 3 files. First one, let's call it book.actiontypes.js. Good. Let's create the same book Redux folder. Let's create another file and call it book.actions.js. Now inside the same Redux folder, let's create another file and call it book.reducer.js. So that is that. Now let's see the action types. Now we create the actions that we need for this application. To fetch the data, we need export const what? Let's call it load. Oh, sorry, let's call it caps. Load what? Load data request. Yeah, that is that. Equals the same thing. Load data request. So that is the, I copy that to it and then edit it. So next one, we make it success. Let's see, success. Good. And the next one, we make a failure. Load data failure. Yeah, that is that. Load data success. Load data failure. Load data success. So that is that for the action types. So we go to the actions. The first thing to do is to import the action type. So we say import what? Import load data request. Oh, sorry. Okay. Load data request. Come on. Next one is what? Load data success. Good. The next one, load data failure. Yeah, that is that. We can rearrange it nicely. Okay. So that is that. So next is to import. Import actions from where? Actions. So that is that. So lastly, so to begin, we can say export const. Let's call it load data equals to a function that will return what? An async and to bracket dispatch dispatch. Good. Well, we're going to use our try what? And catch error. Sorry, error. Okay, that is that. So let's take the first one, the try. I want us to dispatch what? Dispatch a type called load data request. So inside that, let's take let's get our URL. So we say let's data URL equals to what? Let's check our URL. This our URL. So let's copy that. Okay, then open a new tab. Go. Copy it. Good. The URL is ready. So we say let response equals to await await actions dot get what data URL. Okay, that. So if that is done, dispatch type called what no data success, come out with a payload response dot data. Okay, so that is that. When it fails, then dispatch a type load data failure with a payload error. So that is that. Good. So I think we are done with poke.actions. So next thing to do is to go to poke.reducer. Now to begin with, let's import the action types again. So we go to the poke.action, then copy it. Good. Poke.reducer, paste it there. Good. So next thing to do is to create a feature key in the store. So we say export const, let's call it poke key, equals what? Poke store. So now let's create an initial state. So we say let initial state be equal to what? Let's give data. Let's give empty array. Then let's give loading false. Good. And let's error message. Let's give it empty string. Yeah, that is that. What next? Now let's call the reducer. Okay, so we say export const, let's call it poke reducer equals to a function. Good. Inside that we can have our state equals to initial state comma action. Good. So that is that. Further distraction, we can say let what? The type comma payload equals action. Yeah. So that is that. So finally we can say that our switch statement with a type what? With a type when the case is what? Load data request. Good. When the case is load data request. What do you do? Then return what? Return the state back, comma, and make loading true. Yeah, that is that. How about a case when we have load data success? Let's copy that. So we say load data here success. Yeah. What do? Give us the state back, make loading false. Sure. Make loading false, and come on, then give the data, the payload. So that is that. So how about a case we have load data failure? What do you do? Failure. Failure. Let me see again. Sorry. Let's check that failure well. Let's see the other one. Okay. Here. We didn't complete. Good. So that is that. With the failure, the failure return the state. There's nothing like loading. So you see error message. Let's give it a payload. Good. So that's also done. So now we can declare our default state default return state. So that's for the reducer. So what do? We go to the root reducer. Okay. Go to the root reducer and import the book reducer. So we go to root reducer and import book reducer. Yeah. We also need to import combine reducers. So we say import combine reducers. From combine from Redux. Redux. So that is that. Well, again, so we can finally say let's what root reducer equals to combine reducers into bracket what they call the book key. So we say book key and give it a value book reducer. No comma. So that is that. Let's import book key. That we imported for us. So that is that we can export. We say export what? Root reducer. Yeah. Now export root reducer to where? To the store. Okay. So we go to the store and then import root reducer. So we say import root reducer from root reducer. So that is that. Okay. So we also need to import what? Create store and apply middleware. Apply middleware from Redux. Then we also import with compose with dev tools from Redux DevTools extension. That is that. And finally we import tank from where? From Redux tank. Good. So everything is ready. So to begin, we can say let all middlewares equal to an array. Good. Then inside the array, let's have our func, so that in future we can just put a command and another middleware. Okay. Next, we can say let store be equal to create store into bracket where root reducer compose with dev tools into bracket where let's bring it here. me see. Okay, that's it. Good. So let's say apply middleware to bracket. Give us all the middlewares. Okay, that is that. So finally, we can say export store. Good. That is that. Export store to where? To the app.js. So we go to store, then import store. So we say import store from where? Store. Import components from Redux, then store. Good. So our store is ready. Now we also need to import provider. So we say import provider. So store should be bracket. We say import provider in React Redux. Good. So provider is also ready. So let's wrap the provider around the component. So I say we call the provider here provider. Okay. Okay. Provider, inside provider we can have a store equals store. Good. Let's take this other side down. Good. Very good. So our store is ready. What else do we do? Good. So that is that. Now let's check the browser if there's any complaint. Good. There's a complaint here. Person token is suspected. Okay. Let's check that out. Line 13. Okay. Store 13. Open this one. No, there's nothing like this. So just take it off. Good. Let's try. Good. Guys, we got so what we need to do is to check our store to see. Good. Everything is represented. Good. You can see our store is ready. Now what we need to do is to link the store to the component so that we can dispatch. So we do that. We go to those orders. That is that for you. Go to our good component here. Component, then we go to hook. Good. We need to call use effect. So we say use effect. Good. Use effect is ready. So inside that you can say let's import use selector and use dispatch tch. Good. From React Redux. Good. That's that. So let's initialize dispatch. We say let dispatch be PATCH dispatch equals to what? Use dispatch. Good. Our dispatch is ready. So let's call the use effect. So we say use effect. Inside that, good. We call our MTR. Good. So now we can say dispatch what? Dispatch loads data. Good. Now where is the load data? The load data is in the actions. Look, actions. So this data, load data. Okay. So if we go back and import load data, so we say import what? Load data from where? No, Redux. Yeah. From Redux, then the actions. So that is that. So it should be good to go. Now let's check if we have the data in the store. Okay, let's see. Go to our browser. Load 29.actions load failure. Let's correct that. 29 load data success, load data failure. I thought I corrected. Oh, 29. Okay, 29. Okay, that's it. Load failure. That is that. Now let's check our screen again. Good. Let's run it and check our store. Guys, we got data. We got data, guys. That is that. Now let's check the data. Now you can see the data itself. You have the count, you have the next previous results, and results you have the name and what? URL. Now, so what we're gonna do now is to how do you call it? View the data in the store so that we can view the data on the component. So let's see how to do that. So to view the data, let's go to use selector. So we say view data from store. Okay. So let's say let's view view what? View book. Let's call it view book equals what? Use selector. Good. A selector gives us a function. Inside of we say state should return what? The state with the key. The key is what? Book caps. Book key. Let's import book key. So we say import what? Book key. From where? Book key can be found in the Redux. Yeah, I got Redux. Then we go to what? Redux. Then we go to book.reducer. So that is that. Now let's see if our book key is working. So to check that, we can call JSON. Let's call it pre-tag. So say pre-tag. Then inside that we give it called JSON. JSON then stringify, which is right here. view poke. So let's check our screen. Let's load. Guys, you can see the data. So meaning our poke, view poke is working. Gives the data and it gives you the results. So the results you can see Barbasol and the URL. So that is that, guys. Next thing to do is to bring the data into the component, so we can just comment it since we now know it's working. So to bring the data to the comments over here, so the item, we need to create a condition. Okay, create a GSS to display the item using map. So we can just cut the book item, then we give it a GSS condition. Then we say if what, let's say if view poke dot data dot length legth length equals to what, equal to 0, what do? Do nothing. Otherwise, give us what? A reactor fragment. A reactor fragment. Yeah. Then inside that, we're gonna do the mapping. Okay. So we say view poke dot data dot results dot map to bracket. That gives us a function that will return what? Return a div. Good. So that is that. And inside the div we need a key. So we say key equals, let's say item, then over here item dot name. Okay. So that is that. Now we can paste our poke item. So let's rearrange this thing now. So okay, so that is that, guys. Let's check our screen again. You can see that we have data. Good. So that is that. We need to take the poke container and make it grid. Okay. So let's take the poke container. Then we say we go to CSS. Let's locate poke container. So over here, let's say poke container. Poke container display what? Grid. So that is that. Grid. We say grid template columns. Repeat 4, 1 fraction. Make second one grid template rows order. Then let's give it a gap of, let's say 20 pixels. Let's check that out. Good. That is that, guys. with your data. So now what we need to do is to link the, what do you call it, link the view image. When I say view image, it will send the URL to the detail page. So what we're gonna do is to check the, let's close this, the book, the view image. Okay, so we have our view image. So we need to give the URL to the link. Okay, so to do that, we say we need to rewrite this. Okay, make it dynamic. So we say dynamic quote, then we can say slash details, then slash, let's go to dollar sign, good. Then inside that, to bracket, we have where item dot name. So this is the link we are giving to the view image to send this data to the detail page. So we need to check the how do you call it, the app.js to create an ID. So go to app.js. Okay, so with the detail we say slash, let's call the URL. Okay, so good, that's the ID. So colon URL. So that is that. Let's check that out if we can get the URL. So when I say, you can see we have the name, the Pokemon name being added to the URL. Okay, so that is that. So next is to fetch the Pokemon name from the URL and bring it to the component. Okay, so let's see how to do that. So we now have our ID here. So I think we don't need this again. What do we need now? We need the detail. So we need to import use params from React Router to help us do that. So we say import use params from React Router done. Yeah, that's that. So over here we need to call it. So we say let Pokemon name equal to use params. Use params dot URL. So that is that. We can console log what the name, Pokemon name, if you say, if we have it. So let's go back. Good. So when I say good, let's now check it, inspect. You can see how you can see the name here over here. Wow. So that is that. Now what we need to do is what? Send this name back to the store, the actions, to fetch another API. Okay, that will give us the image. Why? Because the this in the, what do you call it, this thing that is giving us the data that is giving us is a URL. We have the name and the URL, so we need to send this URL to back to the actions again to fetch another data, to get another data from the URL. That is what we are going to do. So we can close this. To create another what? Redux. Create another action. So we say action types. We need to copy this again. When we say, let's make here load Pokemon name section. Okay. Yeah. So we say load book. This time it's no more data, so we're going to book. Okay. So book. So we change everyone and say book. Copy. Book. Good. So that is that load book request. So we go to the next one, which is the actions, and go do the same thing. All we need to do is to import these things again. So yeah. Then I can copy this again. Yeah. This one is going to be what? Book. And last one to book. So that is that for book. We need to create another fetch data again. So exports const load data, but this one is going to be export. Okay. Export const load book. Load book data. Okay. Different load book data. The API too has to change, so let's check the API. Where is it? Okay, this one. So we'll load this. Yeah, this one. Copy. Good. Paste it there. Good. So instead of detail, we can just make it dynamic and say to bracket, what's the name? Pokemon name. Yeah. So here too we have what? Pokemon name. Yeah, that's that. Then everything changes. Load book request. Load book request. Load book success. Then the next one, load book failure. So that is that. So done with the book. So we go to the reducer. Good. First, so what? Add the copy. Just copy this. Come on, put it there. So reducer. Can replace this. Yeah. So that is that. The same key. Now there we need to add another to receive the data. So we say what's the name? Pokemon data. Let's give it an object. Okay, so that is the empty object. So we need to redo this cases again. So I'll take copy from here. It's just the same thing. Copy and go down. I can say book section. Book section. Copy them to case load book. Book. Next one. Book. Next one. Book. I think that is that. Yeah. So that is that, guys. So let's check it out. Let's see if there's any complaint. Wow, no complaint. Good. So we see. Wow, good. That is that, guys. So let's check our store. See if. Wow, like that. Good. So our data is still the same. Now we need to fire. What do you call it? Dispatch the Pokemon name. Okay. So we go to the details. Good. Now we have the name. What do we do? We need to fire it. So to fire it, we say good. So we call use effect again. So how to do that? Because use effect is effect. Good. So down here we say use effect. Inside that we can have a function. Good. Let's do an empty array. Good. So let's fire it. We say dispatch. Dispatch what? Dispatch. Let's go to actions. We're dispatching. The second one, load book data. So let's do that. Load book data. Okay, bracket. Book. Oh, sorry. Pokemon name. Pokemon name. Good. That is that. Anything else? Let's import load book data. So we say import what? Load book data. Good. From where? No. From Redux. Then book readers. Then what? Actions. That is that. So now let's check if we can have our individual data. So go back. The dispatch is not defined. Line 12. Dispatch. Oh, sorry, dispatch is not defined. Very true. I need to import dispatch too. So we say import use selector. Come on. Use dispatch. This dispatch from React Redux. Yeah, that is that. Let's initialize dispatch. So we say initialize dispatch. So now we can have let dispatch be equal to use dispatch. Good, our dispatch is ready. So dispatch. Okay, yeah. Now we can check it again to see. Okay, so we say view. Okay, now let's check the store to see if we have another. Good, we have another data dispatched. Good. So you can see now the individual data has been dispatched. You see that. So that is that. Check our state. You can see our chart view. You can see another data has been dispatched. Wow, so cool. So that is that, guys. The book data, we have another data in there. No, it's using the first data. It's overriding the first data. Let's go put it in the Pokemon data. Oh, sorry. So we go to the reducer, then we say here, over here, we say not data, we say Pokemon data. Pokemon data. Where are you? Yeah. Good. Pokemon data. So let's check that out. Then I say view image, and we check the store. Good. Let's check the states. Let's check the chart view. Good. Better. Can you see now the Pokemon data has the individual data. Okay. So that is that. So we get to go. So what we can do now, we go back to our let's take the first one, poke.app, and change the good do. We'll make it what was the name? Item.name. Okay, let's check that out. Good, you can see the names here. I want to make the names caps, so I look for that container, which is the name. CSS is called name container name. Where are you? Book name container, then book name P, then the P. Let's make it test transform. Test transform. Yeah. Test transform uppercase. Yeah. So that is that. Good. Test to uppercase. So we are good to go. We bring the same. We need to get the what do you call it? The Pokemon name here also here nicely. So details. Good. We come here. Pokemon to change it. Make it. Call it here. We say Pokemon name there. So that is that. But we need to make this place too caps. So we go to the detail h5. Good. CSS detail h5. CSS detail h5. Good. So we say test transform uppercase. Good. I think we are going. Then next, but again. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let's. What again? What again do we need? The picture. Change the picture. Yeah. We need to fetch the data to change the picture. Yeah, that's that. So to do that, let's view the store for the poke details. So we call it view poke, and we did it in there. So I can just go copy view data from store. So just copy this, come and bring it here. Nicely. So that is that. So here, we can create an if statement to declare the detailed content. Okay, so let's cut that and say GSS. We say if object dot keys to bracket vbook what dot book load Pokemon. Let's check the name. Forgetting the name. Pokemon data. Yeah, that's right. The Pokemon data dot length equals 0 and display now. Otherwise, give us a React fragment. Now dot give us a React dot fragment. Yeah. Then inside that, we can now paste our detailed content. Div to div. Good. So that is that. What do we do now? Now let's change the image. Let's try image. Let's see if there's an issue first. Book key is not defined, so let's import book key. So we say import book key. Oh, sorry, book key is caps. Book key. Good. Now that's that. So let's see again if there's an issue. No issue. Good. So now let's change the image and make it dynamic. Okay. So the image is what? View. Sorry. Vbook. Vbook.pokemon data dot what? Dot sprites. Sprites dot front default. Good. Okay, that is that. This is from the API. We can check it out. So run it. So you can see the Pokemon image. Can I say go back? Can I say another one? Good. Can go back. Go another one. Can go back. Another one. Commander. So that is that, guys. Yes, I was saying the book. Listen, how do you call it? The book. The image. Where I had the image, I want to show you. In the chat view do. Can you see the sprites? So the sprites has this image. The back default, the front default here. So that is where I take the picture from. You can see that picture, the image PNG here. So that is that, guys. So Pokemon, and better if you go to the how they call the API. You see it there. Good. So you go down here. You can see the sprite. It's an object. Okay. There's no need to do mapping. So that is that, guys. If that is that, guys. Thank you for sticking through. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.